Okay, here we are, math, once again, and we're doing multiplication, chapter 20, lesson 3, and you need to get out pages 399 to 400. And today is April 15th, 2020. So, here we go.
Wednesday.
Yes. Okay, so today we've been learning about different ways to learn multiplication. So today's lesson is all about skip counting. So here they say there are 10 cubes in each, and they're calling it a cube train. That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Cube train?
Yeah, interesting. It says how many cubes are in 5 trains. So they did skip counting by 5. Not a hard thing to do. You guys probably did that in September this year. So here we go, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So then we know there are 5 cube trains. So that 5 times 10 is 50. There are 50 cubes in 5 trains. So it says use cubes to make equal groups. Now cube trains.
Oh, we got cubes.
These are cube trains. Everybody get on the cube train.
I think it's because they're connected like a train.
Like a train. Like different cars on a train. It could be. Okay, so it says use cubes to make equal groups. So back on the first day that we started multiplication, one of the vocabulary that we talked about was equal groups. So equal groups are really important. So each one of these has 10. 10 in each cube train. Here's 4, equal groups of 4. And here's another 4. So, there we go. 2 equal groups of 4. You can give me one.
I think we got 4.
The train, okay.
4 equal groups of 4?
No. We'll just do 3.
Okay.
It's okay,
Well,
because
I
I've
said
run out of...
Problem said that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so there's 4. 1, 2, 3. Here, let me put this down. 2 in this hand and 2 in this hand. 4 groups of 4. So we're going to do the first one together, 4 groups of 4. So we're going to skip count by 4. So 4, and then 4 plus 4 is 8. And I'm going to take 8, and I'm going to add 4 to that, and that's 12. And 12 plus 4 is 16. So 4 times 4, the final answer is 16. And remember, they have this good thing right here in the cloud for you to think about. It says, I can skip count by 4s to get up to that 16. So 4, 8, 12, 16. And then each one of these had different groups. And you're going to use skip counting to do all of these. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Pause. Okay, we're back. Here we are. You should have already answered these because you hit pause. So now we're going to do 5 groups of 2. So this is skip count by 2. 2,
5,
4, 6, 8, 10. So then we know 5 times 2 is 10. You should have had that written on your paper already. And then 4 groups of 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12. And so the answer to that one is 12. Then right here, 5 groups of 3. So we're skip counting by 3 again, but we're going to do 1 extra one. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. No, I did something wrong. That's right, I did. 12 goes to 15, of course. Because I know anytime you have 5 groups, the answer has to end in either a 5 or a 0. We know that. So 5 times 3 is 15. And the last one you're going to do on this page, or you already did, is 4 groups of 5. So once again, it has to end in either a 5 or a 0. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So 4 groups of 5, 4 times 5 is 20. So if you got all of those right, give yourself a smiley face and a nice pat on the back because you did a great job. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We're going to erase, erase, erase. The other thing you may have noticed is I have 3 skip counting videos that you can use if you want, and they're going to help you to learn how to multiply. I think you might enjoy those, or you might be able to find some on your own that you enjoy.
Miss
So
Eve,
that's
how
good.
about math talk? It says, how can you use multiplication to find the value of 8 dimes?
Oh, we
They
did that
do.
when we were doing money. So we're going to skip count. We know a dime is 10 cents. So we're going to say 8 groups of 10. And 8 groups of 10, of course, we're going to use our basic facts. 8 times 1 is 8.
Oh, and then we just add the
We
zero.
put a
Just put that
0
zero
on the end,
behind.
right? And we learned that when we were counting dimes. Thank you, Mrs. Lopez. We learned that when we were counting dimes when we were doing money.
They
So.
could have put 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8
Oh,
plus 8 plus 8
that's-
or
That's the
10 8 times, but if they choose to, right?
Yeah, we're going to count tens as much as possible. Counting by eights that's one of the harder things you'll do. But by the time you're done with your times tables, when you're learning your timetables, you actually, the last part, you only have a little bit of the 8 times tables to learn, like 8 times 6, 8 times 7, 8 times 8. The rest of them, there's all ways to remember. So, and remember, when you're learning your multiplication, remember all this. We want to come up with something called automaticity. So I know I was working with a student the other day, just one student, and they said, well, I can do count by threes. Watch, Miss East. 3, 6, 9. And I said, no, you don't have it yet because you have to do it without counting. If you can do it without counting, then you're going to be able to pass those timed tests.
Do you know that Schoolhouse Rock has a great video
Oh.
on threes?
Yes.
3 is the magic number.
3, we've seen that before in my class. 3 is the magic number. Do you know those videos were written by a Christian?
Ah,
True story.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you look at that one in particular, he says 3 is a magic number, and there's a lot of little hints to his spiritual beliefs. And if you look at 2, he's going on Noah's Ark.
Yes,
Come
yes,
on.
with all the animals.
So, yeah, okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide. Yeah, see, this is page number 399 and 400, so we're going to look at 400 right now. And so it has a way of practicing skip counting by drawing petals on flowers. Hey,
Oh, hey, that's
like
something I've been
science,
doing.
right? Okay, and then you find the product. Remember we learned yesterday, excuse me, the word product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So just like when you add numbers, the answer is the sum. When you subtract numbers, the answer is the difference. And then when you multiply, the answer is the product. And we also talked about how those 2 numbers being multiplied are called factors. And then my little trick for remembering is the product is made at the factory. So the factors get multiplied and they produce a product. And you will need that. Those factors and products come up a lot in the upper grades. So you need to know those now. Might as well. Okay, so find the product. If you have 2, it looks like stems almost, doesn't it?
It does. From here it
You
does.
just
Okay.
have to add the petals.
Yeah, and so there's 3 petals. So 3 petals on each one. So I'm going to skip count 3, 6. So 2 stems with 3 petals, 2 times 3, the product is 6. So right here, we will do this first one together. 5 petals, really. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there I have skip counting by 5s, which I really like. So here we go. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20. So then I kind of check myself because I say, okay, I'm multiplying times 5. It has to end in either a 5 or a 0. So it ended in a 0. I'm good. This is 10 petals. Really? Okay. They're going to have to be thin petals. Probably a daisy. 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa.
Good
Okay.
job, you made it.
Okay, let's try if I can do it twice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't make flowers as good as God does. He makes them look way more uniform than me. But that's okay because He's God. So here we go. 2 groups of 10, 10, 20. So 2 times 10 is 20. And I like my tens times tables because all of those end in a 0 every single time. Okay, 4 groups of 4. I'm going to let you do the rest and even the bottom part, but pause the video. 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, now you're back. Here we go. 4 petals. 4 petals. You should have
You're
done.
counting by 4s.
I am, and you should have done nice petals like that. So now I'm going to skip count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16. So now I know again that 4 times 4 is 16. Dora the explorer. Dora bought red, blue, yellow, and green flower pots. She bought 2 of each color. How many flower pots did she buy?
I know, Miss East.
Wait, I got to draw a picture, but I'm going to let you give me the answer. Is that okay?
Well, I was saying you have to count 1 for each flower pot, and so there's
Oh.
4 colors. So
Okay.
there's 4 different flower pots.
Like that. So there's 1 set of 2. We'll call these red, correct?
Good.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And then these ones are blue. Did I do that right, Mrs. Lopez? Yellow and
Pink.
green.
Oh, green.
Well, with those squares, are those your...
Those are my
Pet-
flower
flowers.
pots. Those are my
pots.
flower pots. She bought 2 of each color. So I'm saying I'm going to skip count by 4. Because there's 4 colors because they only have 2 lines. So 4 times 2 equals 8. So she bought 8 flower pots. Good old Dora. Maybe she'll put them in her backpack.
Maybe she'll explore with them.
She could take the flowers with her or explore about more flowers. Okay, so if you finished that whole page and you did quite well, you could give yourself another pat on the back. The next thing we have is a little review. So we're going to review about arrays from yesterday. And remember, array has rows and then it has columns. Rows go this way and columns, this is so interesting. Columns go this way. So, rows and columns. And the nice thing about an array, which we're going to see, is that you can switch it and go the other way and it doesn't change the
And
product.
you still have rows and columns.
Well, but you have the same answer.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you multiply in this one in particular, 4 times 2, you end up with 8. But if you turn it the other way and say 2 times 4, you also have 8. And one of your students actually showed that really, really nicely. So the only thing, just go slow. Here we go. Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Emma.
For your great array examples. So there we are. So you notice she has rows. So she said 6 rows of 7 columns equals 42. That was a great array. That's a pretty hard problem. So I was impressed by that. Then she has 2 rows of 3. No, she has 3 rows of 2. But that's okay. It doesn't matter how you write it. It ends up being the same either way. And there you have 4 rows of 5. So that's excellent. Okay, and we have a couple more from. So we're all clapping.
Oh,
Yay! And one more. one more. Yay, and look at the thumbs up you get. Nice job. Here's
We're
another
clapping.
one.
We gotta clap again.
Clapping again. And this, up there, this array was provided by Anthony. Yay!
job.
Good job, Anthony. I love the jelly beans. Reminds me of class. We have 4 rows of 4 columns and 4 in each. So that's 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, next slide.
I was gonna ask what happens if you ate 4 of the jelly beans.
Oh, you might get sick. We'd go back to that car sick video.
Okay.
No. Okay, I like that Geo gave us bugs because that kind of goes with our
Good job. I'm gonna give you a big
Again.
hand clap.
So there's, and it says this array, I kind of gave it away. I do that a lot in class. So good
All right,
job
good
for
job.
Geo. Nice, nice. And the next one is
Oh, I love that.
Minions, what do they got?
Marley gave us 4 rows and 2 columns. So 4 times 2 is 8. Excellent.
Good job.
So this is
Marley.
thumbs up for, thank you, Marley. Nice contribution.
And I love the minions all excited.
Yes. Well, so those are gone now. And then Grace. Grace had a really nice
Looks like she has some wood
display.
blocks.
Wood blocks. And she gave us this right here. This actually is really important because later on, you're actually going to have something called properties. And the properties say that in adding and multiplying, that order doesn't matter. That's super important. Adding and multiplying, order doesn't matter. But in subtracting, we
Oh,
already
yeah.
The
learned.
Definitely.
bigger number
Yeah.
goes on the top.
Mrs. Lopez is reminding us that order does matter. Definitely. 4 take away 2 is not the same as 2 take away 4. It doesn't work, especially in 2nd grade. It doesn't work. So I think there's one more button to push on this. We are clapping, a little more sound effects of the clapping. Meryl Streep is pointing at it. Okay. Gigi is the next math challenge. Set your timer for 20 minutes and work with the penguin. He's going to give you some sounds here. Play the guitar, sing. Just have a good time. And that's it. So thank you. Thanks for sending in those wonderful pictures. And if we get more, we will demonstrate and show them to your classmates. So have a good day, math.